What is up, y'all? Welcome back. Today we are talking about something that I've had to keep hush-hush until the day that it actually is happening, and that is that CREDO is doing a big site-wide sale. I believe it is 20% off site-wide, and I've been on embargo, but I've been so excited to tell y'all about it, and today I'm just going to be going through my recommendations for this CREDO sale because we're kind of in the same season right now as the Sephora sale, and so a lot of these websites do these kinds of discounts that go along with it while everybody's shopping that sale, you know, sort of like Prime Day and stuff like that. But like CREDO is one of those brands, like when I was doing Clean Routine 2019, that was when I used, you know, only brands that self-identified as clean to see if there was anything to it kind of thing back in 2019. I really became familiar with CREDO as a store. There were a few other really good kind of like, you know, clean beauty oriented stores online, and CREDO has just always stood out to me as a brand, as a company that is like aware of what's going on. They are always stocking brands that like have great performance value, and they also have fantastic rewards. Like you can actually go into their rewards and like you spend their points like money and get real things, you know? So in that respect, if you can find it in the CREDO sale, I would recommend it just as much, if not more, than buying it from Sephora, just because I do feel like the entire like customer service, the whole sort of like loyalty program of CREDO, and even their samples, you know, and their like their version of the rewards bazaar is just better. I have a lot of familiarity. This is not sponsored, but I have a lot of familiarity with the products on CREDO. This was like my bread and butter for the entire year of 2019. And you know, a lot of these brands make really, really beautiful, very sophisticated formulas that also happen to be, you know, in this clean beauty category. And I am not going to sit here and like, you know, litigate whether or not that means anything or what it means to whom. It is more about finding the brands that work for you and the ingredients that work for you, or avoiding the ones that don't, and everybody's different. So if you're interested in the CREDO sale, here are my recommendations for what I think is worth picking up. Let's go ahead and jump in. Starting in the makeup section, we'll do makeup and then we'll do skincare. So we have Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint, absolutely beautiful. Such a beautiful product. It has a pretty extensive shade range. I think we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30 shades in a skin tint. I will say, some people are put off by the smell. It is not a fragrance. It just happens to have kind of a smell to it. It's a beautifully effective serum foundation that also has a good amount of mineral SPF to it in an elegant kind of delivery system. It is wildly dewy, like wildly dewy, and for some people that is like the best news ever, especially as we head into the winter months, because when your skin is cold, your skin is dry, and this can be just miraculous if you are trying to kind of maintain your moisture barrier throughout the winter. So I highly recommend it, especially if what you're looking for is low coverage, but something really beautiful, perfecting, and dewy. I would give it a 0.5, 0.75 on my arbitrary scale of coverage. The Westman Atelier Vital Skin Foundation Stick. I just bought my second one of these, and the first one lasted me a lot longer than it should have. You know what I mean? Like the expiration date, that's the thing on clean beauties. A lot of times they really hedge their bets. They err on the side of safety in terms of their expiration dates, because a lot of these things, the clean part of them is that they have fewer, like, I don't know, common preservatives that you see in other brands. Again, there is no like rule across the board. Like no one is regulating what you have to do to call something clean, but that tends to be the case with some of these. A lot of people complain that some of their like clean beauty products go off earlier, sort of thing. That was not my experience with the Vital Skin Foundation Stick from Westman Atelier. It lasted forever. And I did eventually at the last CREDO sale just pick myself up a new one. I am Atelier 0. This is an unbelievably beautiful formula, especially if you watch the way Gucci Westman uses it. She uses it on like a soft foundation brush, and she just barely buffs it into the skin to camouflage different things, but you know, hardly ever as like a full face foundation. And that is what it does so beautifully. It is like the most seamless, no makeup, all-purpose foundation, but more just complexion stick. It's a very sophisticated formula. It is the only complexion product that I brought on my entire honeymoon, if that tells you anything. I just think that it's fantastic. So it's worth the money. It lasts a really long time, and you hardly need any of it. It's like a hyper concentrated, really sophisticated and cosmetically elegant formula. Because that's one of the things that you sort of compromise on sometimes with clean beauty. That was my experience in 2019, was just that a lot of times it's about the feel good of the ingredients and not not necessarily the performance and the sophistication of the formulas. I'm going to be only recommending things today that have beautifully elegant, high performance formulas. The Make Waves mascara from Tower 28, if you are not a tubing mascara person, but you do still want something that is really high performing and doesn't like smudge, I think that that mascara is beautiful. It's also well priced. It's $20. We're talking mid-range beauty. They also, and I'm not sure if CREDO is going to have it by the time the sale happens, but they did just release a brown, which is really exciting. This is not a tubing mascara. It has been rumored to be a tubing mascara. It behaves kind of like a tubing mascara, but when it washes off, it resolves. And the best thing about it to me is just that it is the most like low allergen. That and maybe the Ilia are like the least irritating mascaras I have ever used. And I also know a lot of people, my mother included, who have a lot of issues with mascaras of all ilks irritating their eyes, and the Tower 28 and the Ilia as well are like two formulas that are just the easiest for people with sensitive eyes in my, experience and anecdotally. So highly recommend those. The High Fidelity Foundation from EXA. So EXA is CREDO's house brand, and they do some beautiful things. They also do some things that I can't explain. Like some of their stuff I'm just like, huh. But that foundation is gorgeous. I'll just say it. It's definitely not the most high performance. It's not Chanel, you know what I mean? It's not gonna wear for 16 hours, but it has the potential to adapt to a lot of different types of makeup wearing. You can powder it or not powder it, or wear it thin or wear it, full coverage or whatever. I would say it might get you to like a 7.5 in terms of my arbitrary scale of coverage. And it is pretty dewy. I wouldn't recommend it for like combo oily skin, but for dry skin, absolutely. And amazing shade range. I don't recommend the Vital Skincare Complexion Drops from Westman Atelier. I know that some people, obviously everybody has different tastes. The thing that I didn't like about it is super squalane based, and on dry skin there's something about squalane that like if it's not integrated perfectly with like the right emulsifiers on me, it'll just kind of sit on top of my skin. And everybody's like, well, only use 3 drops. I'm like, you can use 3 drops of anything. It doesn't have to be a $68 1 ounce, little foundation thing. I just was not impressed by it. And also it's like shimmery, so that was not my thing either. The Kosas Revealer Concealer. It's a favorite for a reason. People do complain that it goes off quickly. I have never had that issue. I'm not trying to gaslight anybody, but I've never had that issue. But it's $30 before the sale, and it's just a fantastic formula with a really good shade range. They do lean a little bit yellow, just bear that in mind. So it's like I wear 1.5C. I am not cool toned in any way, but that's me kind of correcting for the fact that the shade range does lean a little bit golden overall. So just bear that in mind, but like this is a really good opportunity to get your Kosas concealer on a discount. Again, that Ilia Limitless Lash Mascara, it's got that double-ended wand, double-sided, so it's like you have different, both of their formulas are absolutely gorgeous. They really are. I'm not like hugely impressed by them because like I want more Wapow eyelashes, and I am so loyal to tubing mascaras, but if tubing mascaras didn't exist, I would own those. I would own the Ilia mascaras for sure. Ooh, yes, okay. This is also a really good chance because RMS has left Sephora, or is in the process of leaving Sephora, so you're not gonna see all these new releases from RMS at Sephora, but they are not just at CREDO, but they're in like really great bundles that are like value kits, not just like minis and crap. Look at all of these different like the lip products and things like that, whether that's going to be something that is like of value to you. But I do want to speak highly of what I consider to be RMS 2.0. From the foundation to the primer to the new blushes, the highlighter, the eyelights, the things that I have seen, even these kind of funky lip colors, they're really fascinating. They have this like water feel when you put them on, even though they're matte. RMS 2.0 has really impressed me across the board. So the foundation is going to be a good like natural finish, beautiful, replaceable inner cartridge. Some people are just like, why? I don't know. It's different and it feels different for a reason. The primer is shockingly beautiful. Like you would think it would just kind of be an afterthought, but it's not. It's fantastic. And the blushes, I can't say enough about them. The highlighter version of the blushes, I'm kind of like neither here nor there on. Like I feel like I couldn't really pick it up on a brush in a way that made it super useful for me, but the blushes are off the charts. Crystal Slipper is bananas for fair skin. It's so good. And then Hanky Panky is like that ultimate kind of like just this side of being a little bit quirky. Fjord's Cheek in a powder blush form, and they are shimmery. Make sure you know that. It's not like individual shimmer particles, but they have like a blurred, mineral shimmer to them, like a glow. So just bear that in mind, but they're pretty darn pigmented. I find them to be easier to work with, and I like the colors better than the Bare Minerals bronzers, for example. They are just, you know, a little bit lower pigment and a little bit less stressful to use. And they are higher pigment and also easier to use, I think, than those Givenchy Prism Libre blushes that I do really, really like, but they kind of are a little bit of a pain in the butt, you know, with the like the dumping out and the mixing of the colors, and they're just like a little bit messy. Like, this is kind of that happy medium. And while the colors do, I feel like RMS in general just wants to kind of like rush towards pink, they still have a good bit of diversity to them, and the actual shade values, like the saturation of the shade, has a lot of diversity to it as well that's going to accommodate a lot of skin tones. So I highly recommend those. Now, something that does kind of frustrate me is how quickly, and this has been my personal experience, how quickly the Tower 28 lip glosses go off. And I mean, they turn like orange. I don't know if I would recommend those. There are so many lip glosses out there. They're beautiful, but like, if you're not going to use it inside of like 6 months, don't do it. I have no opinion on the Westman Atelier mascara, the new one, the I Want You mascara, $45 for a mascara. I don't think anybody needs to spend that kind of money on a mascara. There are just so many great ones out there, and the I Love You mascara disappointed me so much. So I haven't tried this yet. That's the only reason I don't have an opinion. Like, I intend to try it, but I also don't think that I would recommend spending that kind of money on a mascara regardless. Again, Kosas, they have other things besides the concealer. They've got the beautiful foundation, which I find to be just kind of like a nice happy medium. It's the same thing as the concealer, where it's like, I don't have a lot to say about it because it's good. You know what I mean? It's not like amazing, off the charts, groundbreaking formula. It's just good. You know, the same way that the concealer is really good. And it's like kind of a, I will never say universal in terms of that kind of thing, but like, it's a crowd pleaser because it's kind of squarely in the middle of a lot of different things. It's sort of like medium coverage, medium dewiness, a good shade range, a pretty good price. Like, it's easy to work with, it's pretty long wearing, and it's a good opportunity to get a discount on it, especially if you are like kind of at a loss on foundations and you just don't want to think about it anymore. Like, the Kosas foundation, the Kosas concealer are great. Their lip products are also fantastic. I think that they do amazing, amazing things with their lip products. I have, I think, an individual reel for like every single one of their lip lines. So like their lipsticks, their lip other sticks with the less pigment. I don't think I did one for the lip glosses, but the entire Undressed collection is gorgeous. I don't recommend picking up the eyeshadow palette. I don't really know what was going on there. Pretty much everything else, I'm like, yes. Oh, and the powder. The powder is important. The powder is important. And that's for sure. Oh, and the 10-second eyeshadows, don't do it. The Tower 28 Swipe Serum Concealer, $22 before any kind of discount. I can't recommend this stuff enough. I think it's so utterly beautiful. It's like the Kosas, but it's like a little thinner. It has a little bit more of its own sort of like radiance to it, not shimmer, but it's like a brightened effect. So definitely go true to skin tone when you're picking your color, because it can really, really like brighten the heck out of you. A great amount of coverage, and the beauty of it is that you don't have to powder it. So people with crepey under eyes and things like that, rejoice because you're not gonna have to add powder and further dry your under eyes. It's a beautiful formula, and it blends on top of nothing. You know, you can put it on no foundation, no nothing, and it will cover and camouflage but disappear into the skin. I think that it is just an absolute winner. A brand I really want to try is Mob Beauty. That's what I'm going to be picking up in this sale. I'm probably going to stock the heck up on Mob Beauty because I've been getting so many requests to compare it to things in my collection, and for whatever reason, I have just never found the right kind of opportunity to like focus in and deep dive on that brand, and I think now's the time. I think that's what you're going to be seeing from me in this sale, because I own most of this stuff. I already own most of this stuff that's at Credo, and if not, I at least have an opinion on it. But yeah, Mob Beauty has this Trust the Process palette that like, that looks like a really great way to get my feet in there. LYS is on Credo. I didn't know that. That's really exciting. LYS is a Black-owned brand that does clean beauty, and it is all really, really well priced. I've not tried their mascara or anything like that, but I can say their formulas are absolutely gorgeous. Their blushes are ridiculous. The colors are amazing, the formulas are amazing, and what I like about them is they are a cream blush that is abundant for the price, and it's really meant for a combination to oily skin types. It's still beautifully kind of satin on the skin when you apply it. It's not like overly dewy. They're really, really well done. I also just appreciate how Credo like keeps it tight, you know? Like, They could carry everything and I would have to sit here and sift through like what's good and what's not. This is just a really tight concept. Okay, so Ritual de Fille is another brand that you can get a discount on in this sale. As far as Ritual de Fille is concerned, the 3-drop foundation is not really my thing. Kind of sits on top of the skin. Some people really love it. I think Hannah really enjoyed it. It does have a great shade range, especially for people who need something really fair. I just think that all like their inner glow pigments and everything like that, what you're gonna find at Ritual de Fille is uncommon colors. So poke around, see what you like. I really like all their formulas. I just, you know, it's about whether or not those really interesting kind of daring colors. And when I say daring, I don't mean like, oh, it's just gonna make you look vampy. It's like, no, they're daring in a lot of directions from a color theory standpoint. It's like they dare to go super, super gray purple, or they dare to go like really, really ethereal blue, or like tons of shifts in their highlighters and stuff. Their formulas are gorgeous. It's a good time to get a discount on them. And I really do think that like pretty much all of their formulas, you can find something to like. I just personally am not a huge fan of the 3-drop foundation. Oh, I'll tell you one thing that I don't recommend, and that is that Kosas Glow IV. Don't do it. Just don't do it. It's like basically like liquid mobilized eyeshadow that somehow dries down matte. It's just a fail. Gen C is a brand that I had the opportunity to try this year, and I was impressed by some things and not by others. The Arch Support Brow Powder Gel, if you have sensitive skin, I would not recommend this. I know it's a clean beauty brand, but there's something about the Arch Support Brow Powder Gel that is so waterproof that it breaks my eyebrows out really badly. And I have heard this from other people as well. It's just hard to wash it all the way out. And you know, yes, you could, but it's not worth it to me when something like the Kosas, which is like what I use every single day, doesn't bother my skin at all. So I don't necessarily recommend that. Their lip colors are gorgeous. Clean Sheen Cheek and lip color is really beautiful. The lip gloss, it's pretty, but it's neither here nor there. And the little eyeshadows are also really pretty, but it's just kind of not my thing specifically. The colors are pretty, they do perform well, but like, it's just not something that I reach for. I'm not gonna like give it my like, you know, stamp of approval. I think Gen C is doing some cool stuff. I kind of think that they're like not quite there yet. Tude Beauty has really unimpressed me. Is that a thing? Like to say that like a verb, like you've unimpressed me. I'm just not impressed by Tude Beauty. And also the iPods, which I have no idea how they got away with that, from Westman Atelier, skip them. Skip them, they're crazy frustrating. They won't build, they just pick themselves back up. It's just one of those formulas that like went all the way to clean beauty and not to performance, and it's just not my thing. I can't get into Axiology, and that's because I am a packaging snob, and of course their whole thing is to not have packaging at all. I've had some of their stuff. I'm not super impressed by the formulas, and I know that that's like, you know, a personal thing, but if you do like Axiology, they are on sale on CREDO. La Bouche Rouge, y'all, this is like luxury. It's so beautiful. So you've got the refills and then also the lipstick cases. That's a really great thing to get a discount on. I might pick one of those up at the sale because I've never tried them and I've heard such great things. Live Tinted is a brand that I feel like I kind of got off on the wrong foot with because I tried some stuff that just kind of like was early on in the brand and it wasn't necessarily directly like for me specifically, but I have liked the formulas on like their color corrector sticks and stuff like that. But like their sunscreen is up. It's supposed to be absolutely beautiful. Like some people really swear by it. They've got lip glosses. They've got a really beautiful kind of like all over highlighter and things like that. So it's definitely something that I, you know, would check out more from, me personally, buying from this sale. Oh my God, Mob Beauty. What is that? The color, they say that's a M3, a nude caramel pink. That color is bananas. I want it on my mouth right now. Okay, well that's exciting. Only $24 for that. Okay, I think that that's kind of it on makeup right now, and if anything else occurs to me, I will definitely continue to link them below, but you've seen now what I recommend and also what I plan on picking up, and we'll go into skincare here. When we're talking about skincare, body care, whatever, one of the biggest brands that I'm always going to recommend, especially if you can get a discount on it, is Osea. I've heard some people say Osea. The brand told me to say Osea, but Osea, whatever. They are a beautiful and effective clean beauty brand out of California. All their stuff is like seaweed based. Now their skincare, like for your face, I've had mixed experiences with. Their masks, off the charts. I love the white algae mask, the red algae mask, and I love the black algae, the flash mask. They're so beautiful. I like their moisturizers and stuff like that. The eye serum made my eyes kind of prickle. I didn't love that. And then the face spray, the actual, like, what is it? The sea minerals spray or whatever, makes my eyes prickle. I think it just has like salt water in it or something. And so it just didn't, I just didn't like that. Now what I'm gonna tell you is, like, this is the time to get your Undaria algae. Okay, Undaria algae body oil, the body butter. Not only do they have this stuff on discount, but they have the 9.6 ounce of the Undaria algae body oil. Y'all, I own this. I can't recommend it enough. I bought it at the last CREDO sale and I'm still working my way through it. I mean, it's gonna be a while, okay? I use this every single day. It is the most beautiful body oil I have ever used, and your girl has some really, really dry skin. I also have a sensitivity to like strong fragrances, especially any kind of artificial fragrance, and this smells lovely, not strong, but lovely, of just like natural citrus, as does the body butter. And I've never had any kind of reaction to it. It has only ever been just like incredibly kind. So I cannot recommend it enough. It's just so luxurious. It's like a treat yourself moment, but also it has like lasting impact, and it like maintains my moisture barrier on my whole body. Ooh, girl. They have Bloom Effects now. I mean, I'll be honest, my discount code will get you 20% off at Bloom Effects anyway, any time of year. But you know, if you're already loading your card up, Bloom Effects is great. The Tulip Dew sunscreen is what I'm wearing right now. I really don't have like hardly any other makeup on. I just have the Glossier Stretch Concealer because I just couldn't be bothered. But that SPF is so cosmetically elegant that like it just makes my skin look really pretty regardless. I love the petal polish. The thing that I have been leaning on really hard lately is actually the Tulip Dew, the Nectar. Royal Tulip Nectar. That stuff's bananas, y'all. It's like this super ultra rich like jelly that you put on your face as like a last step. It's like a slugging layer. It's like a really sophisticated tulip based version of something like a, I don't know, like the Charlotte Tilbury night cream, except it's not sticky like that. And if I haven't done my spiel lately, I was fortunate enough to go to Amsterdam this past April for bloom season and actually get to see how all of the Bloom Effect stuff is made. And what they did was they actually got grants from the government, research grants, in order to like find and isolate what the regenerative ingredients are in tulips that make it so that when you like put them in a vase, they continue growing on their own, not just, you know, from like sunshine and from the ground. Like they actually have their own regenerative qualities. They isolated those ingredients and that's what they use. And it's all waste material. It's like they're, you know, harvesting the roots and the petals and everything like that from tulips that would have been thrown away, bulbs that would have been thrown away. So it's like totally like using waste, stuff that would have been waste, getting the super potent ingredients out of it, making their skincare with it, and it's this very, very effective, luxurious experience. And the active ingredients that they are using for the skincare are 4 times the strength of, you know, the similar ingredients that are found in roses. Like tulips are that much stronger. So I swear by their stuff. But again, you don't have to get that at the CREDO sale. You can just type in khaki at checkout on the Bloom Effects website and get 20% off any day. Kjaer Weis. Ooh, I forgot they carried Kjaer Weis. Yes, absolutely. So their blushes are off the charts gorgeous. The Invisible Touch Liquid Foundation is pretty good. I like it. I also feel like they've kind of lowered their prices a little bit lately, and they do have beautiful refillable packaging. If you have something that you really like from Kjaer Weis, then this is a good time to get it. I think that the Beautiful Tint, the blushes, and even the cream foundation are really good buys from Kjaer Weis. I think I'm probably going to pick up some stuff from Kinship. This is a brand that I have never gotten a chance to try, and they apparently have some really, really beautiful skincare and sun care, so I definitely want to check that out. So that might be going in my cart. Necessaire is also on CREDO, so if you are a Necessaire person, they've got a bunch of really great stuff that has even been coming out lately. They've got like acne solutions and things like that. I do love their deodorant. I also love the Kosas deodorant. Honestly, those are like interchangeable in my life. I do feel like the Kosas one is a little bit more effective, but only by like, I don't know. It's like if someone were to send me the Necessaire, I wouldn't throw it away. I wouldn't give it away. Like it works well enough. So yeah, and I still use their body wash as well. So it's a good time to get a little bit of a discount on that if you want. All right, and the last brand here that I definitely don't want to forget about is Herbivore. Okay, so I've used a lot of Herbivore. I've haven't used a lot of herbivore lately, but I should probably get back into it because I do need to focus on stuff that's a little bit less aggressive. I have been using such aggressive actives that I think that that was part of what contributed to me getting perioral dermatitis for the second time in 1 year. Herbivore has the advantage, I feel like, just like such an interesting take on all their formulas, that they have effective skincare that is like extraordinarily gentle. Like, it's some of the most gentle, actually effective skincare I have ever used. So like, I love their pink cloud stuff. Like, that's just a really good sort of like whole routine. I don't feel like it's necessarily like the most active or like, you know, before and after oriented kind of thing. It's just a good thing to have in your routine. And their packaging, y'all know I'm a packaging nut. It's just nice to interact with. It's pretty, you know, I like interacting with pretty things, and the stuff isn't wildly expensive. But as far as the products that I find to be actually the most effective, I will recommend like 3 here. 1, Moonfruit. Holy crap, when I was pregnant and I couldn't use any retinols, Moonfruit is a godsend, okay? Like, it actually manages like a bakuchiol, but it's like a truly effective bakuchiol. It's such a beautiful formula, and if you have sensitive skin, but you also want to focus on like brightening and like undoing some pigmentation or what have you, just kind of like trying to continually slough off maybe like, you know, stuff that's left behind from acne or things like that, but you do have sensitive skin and you're not gonna go out and just like start a retinol purge, Moonfruit is awesome. It's awesome, awesome, awesome. Can't say enough about it. The Nova, y'all, you're not gonna hear me sit here and like praise a vitamin C that often, but Nova is one of the better vitamin C's I've ever used. There's something about it. It's so interesting because it smells like turmeric. It smells like curry, you know? Because it's all, you know, so naturally derived that you can like see where the ingredients are coming from, kind of thing. It's for some people that, you know, really gives us comfort. And I found it to also be a really good natural based kind of like active vitamin C that I could use during the day, and I really enjoyed it. And finally, a fan favorite for a very good reason, the Blue Tansy mask. Y'all, first of all, if I could smell like Blue Tansy all the time, I would. All of their products have just like these really lovely, very authentic smells to them. They're not scented, they just smell like the ingredients, and Blue Tansy happens to smell freaking fantastic. As this Blue Tansy mask kind of matures in the jar, it'll turn sort of like a teal instead of like bright blue, but there's nothing that changes about the efficacy of the formula as that happens. I have used one all the way up over the course of months, and what it does is it just sort of like brightens and helps clear and maintain clear skin in a really beautiful, gentle way that you can use every single day. So it can be part of your routine. It's very spa-like. It's not wildly expensive. It's $50, and of course you could still get 20% off of it for 2 ounces, which is pretty darn good. But it says a calming gel mask powered by Blue Tansy, naturally sourced BHA and fruit enzymes to visibly clarify skin and minimize pores. It's just good for your skin. And it's for those of us who, you know, you might not have like, you know, wildly anti-aging or anti-acne or whatever, like super specific needs. You just want your skin to look brighter and better, and you want something that you can kind of integrate into your routine as like a nice like moment for yourself. The entire experience of using the Blue Tansy mask is just lovely. It's just lovely, and it's something that I kind of buy periodically because I like integrating it into my routine. It's just a nice thing to have. It's like a really good also like way to follow up something like if you were alternating maybe like the Osea clarifying masks, you know, the red algae or something like that, the next day you might do the Blue Tansy, and it's just going to keep your skin more in balance and refined and just bright and beautiful, and I love it. So I think that that is probably loading y'all up with enough advice as far as this is concerned, but I do appreciate that CREDO has such a strong point of view in terms of the products that they carry. I feel like it's such, like I said, a tight curation of if it's for you, you get it, and if it's not, you know what I mean, just skip to the next thing. It's really not a big deal. You don't have to be a CREDO devotee, or maybe you pick like one brand out that they carry and that's fantastic, but there are some of us out there who like get good vibes from a curation of products that just kind of are like really, really gentle and give the spa experience, and you just kind of know that a little bit more consciousness has been given towards certain ingredients being left out. Again, I'm not going to sit here and preach like non-toxic or like We have done it. I used to read entire ingredient lists, and like there is no agreed upon definition of clean beauty, but I have also had irritated skin, I have had sensitized skin, and there's a reason that these products exist. It's important to know what your skin is sensitive to, and I think that a brand like CREDO does a really good job of stocking brands that, while, you know, they don't necessarily, like I said, all have the same kind of like collective interest on exactly what their ingredients are going to be or what they're not going to be kind of thing, although there is like a no list on CREDO, I'm pretty sure. But other than that, it's like, you know that you're already in a place that like that mindset has been given to the merchandising on the website, and they are brands that at least are making an effort, and then you can decide for yourself whether they are, you know, catering specifically to the needs of your skin. But I'm glad that CREDO exists. I'm glad that they're doing a 20% off sale so that I could share all this stuff with you. And again, check out their rewards because they're way better than Sephora. So, yep. That's the vibe today, y'all. Those are my recommendations for this CREDO sale, and I hope that this was fun and helpful. I will have everything listed below. I will also probably have it all on like a shop my shelf so that you can actually just like go through, you don't even have to watch the video, although you already did. But I'll link it so that you don't have to, and I'll put it on my Instagram stories too. Whatever, I'm just trying to make everybody's life easier. But I hope y'all enjoyed this. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. If you're not yet subscribed, think about subscribing. Cool people subscribe. It would be very cool if you did. I'll put a video up here that I think you're going to enjoy if you liked this one. I love y'all so much. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.